Hi everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres. Now, the last time you saw me, I was planting that 162 tray over there with peas. I'm going to be planting peas again today, but I'm going to be doing something totally different. One of the things that Henry and I had planned to do this spring was to start peas early in the greenhouse. And to be honest, part of it has been the weather has just been so horrible, it was hard to want to start anything anywhere. But it is March. It's the beginning of March, but still it's March. Usually I plant peas outside in March. Our forecast is all over the place lately. I really don't think they have a clue. Every time the jet stream does something unusual, we're faced with some other challenge. Either it's going to be too hot or it's going to be too cold. Just this morning, it was like 32. And earlier today, Henry said while sitting in the office with me, "Gee, it's getting cold in here." And now I'm sitting in the greenhouse and it's 88 degrees. And I had to find a tank top because, really, I would melt. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do something that we've seen people over in the UK do. I have two gutters here. These came out of the boneyard. I found two ends, but I didn't find four ends. So two of them just have duct tape holding the ends closed, and I've got some little scraps of wood in here. The ends on the gutter, if you have the proper ones, will actually spread the gutter a bit, and then the hanger spread it the rest of the way. Well, I'm not hanging anything. I'm just using these little pieces of wood to keep it pushed open a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant peas in here. This is just potting soil in here. Some of it's been used before, but it's always been used for things other than peas. No legumes. So there were some brassicas in there and stuff like that, so there shouldn't be any conflict of interest when it comes to diseases. And it's been dampened and it's been fertilized. So now I'm just going to go down these rows and I'm going to plant both of these trays full of peas. Our goal is to have these two gutters full of peas plus the 162 tray, and also start some peas outside and compare the results. We had never even heard of transplanting peas until we started watching people from the UK. And recently we've seen a few folks in the US who are transplanting peas and other legumes. What the heck, we've never done it, but that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. And the only way to find out whether it'll work for us is to try it. So here we go. Now, as you may notice, I'm just laying the peas on top, sort of pushing them into place and tapping them down just a little bit. These will be covered with more soil when they're all in place, and then I'll water the soil again. But by tapping them in place, I'm sort of snugging them down into the earth a little bit. Okay, all the peas are in place. Now all I have to do is put some more potting soil on top and then water it, and we'll be set to go. I'm going to get these out of the way so that they don't get wet. Should be a very bad thing. Put them over here with my phone, which is the dry zone. I want these a 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep. That's particularly important when I plant them outside because they need that depth in order to stay moist. The top portions of our soil here dry out very quickly because not only do we have a very strong sun because we're at high altitude, but we also have very drying winds. Oh, well, hopefully you can hear me over the sound of the fan. The greenhouse fan's kicked in, and usually I would try and turn it off, but to be honest, I really could use a little breeze right now. So, to review what we're doing, I've got a 162 tray of shelling peas that I planted yesterday. I just planted 2 gutters full of shelling peas. And the goal this weekend is to get that bed cleaned out and plant the remaining peas that I have in that container, which that's a 1 pound container, which is about, I think, 2,200 seeds or something. Our goal was to plant an entire bed of shelling peas this spring and an entire bed of snow peas. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. And we're going to compare the results from 162, the gutters, and starting it out in the garden, and see what works best for us. We really love shelling peas, and one of our problems is we have to get them in early. We have to try and keep the rodents from eating them, and then they usually get struck down by the heat sometime rather early in the spring. So we're trying to get them in and really going good as early as possible. What are you doing over there, Jack? Huh? Oh, you don't like the noise that the breeze is making. We have a breeze outside today and it's making things outside flap. Okay, anyway. So, stay tuned. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell button so that you know when we've got more of these coming out, because we're going to keep everybody posted about what happens with this. I have some transplanting to do this weekend, a bunch more seeds that need to be planted, lots going on. It's still pretty darn cold outside most days. It actually got, I want to say, I think it got up in the 50s today. It might have actually hit 60, but it's still solidly in the low to mid 30s, sometimes a little lower. At night, we're supposed to get some weather this coming week. They've been promising us rain, but all we've gotten in the past couple of storms has been pretty much clouds, which doesn't do us any good because all it does is mean that we have to run the generator because we don't get any solar power. So, cross your fingers for us that at least we get some rain. We've got the tanks all ready to collect water, so we're just about out of rainwater from last fall, so we could really use some. So until next time, stay tuned. Bye.